notification, and look at that, the YouTube notification.
Yeah, there you go.
Fantastic. Oh, it is getting progressively darker.
And
Jen, I don't know if I'm going to be on for terribly long, but maybe if I keep the computer pointed this way, I get the Disney fireworks out of this window right here.
Awesome. I know. Michael would love that.
Yeah, I'm sure. That's pretty funny. And we'll chat after the show.
No problem.
If you guys are looking to get away.
Yes, I was teasing Josh. I said it's been about 2 years since we've been to Disney. Come on now.
Let me know.
I saw you guys were looking at going to the beach, huh?
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah,
We were.
You can't beat the Outer Banks.
We were going to get a house from a friend in Florida, but we're not sure it's still available. So
Got it.
Okay.
we're letting it get a last minute crunch to figure out what we're doing.
Yeah, of course. And let me know if you need some assistance with hotels or anything like that. Let me know. Or if you do decide to come to Disney, that's really easy for me.
Right. That would be easy for you too.
Yeah. The Disney is really easy for me to get. The other hotels, that can be a little bit more of a challenge, but we do what we can.
Yeah, the house we were looking at was going to be about 10 minutes from Disney. So we were going to go for a day or two.
Yeah.
And then do some beach and some other stuff, but we'll see.
Let me know. Keep me in the loop. Allison and I will make ourselves available whenever you guys are around.
Okay, sounds good. I don't think I've ever met her, so.
No, you haven't. It's funny. Alex and Josh both met her with Christian that Thursday night, but unfortunately you weren't there. So.
Yes.
Okay. All right, we got 12 people watching, and I just now put out another
hello,
post.
people. I should look at the YouTube thing then, huh?
Yeah, I need to go on that too.
Is the YouTube feed up and running? Because I don't see anything.
Should be.
When I get to our channel, I click home. Oh, there it is. It's there now.
You got it?
You might have to refresh. Don't forget to mute your mic, Pat, or mute the speaker.
Mute the sound.
It's going to drive you mental.
Yep. And there's Martin already here.
Oh, surprise, surprise.
Come on.
That's another Canadian.
The other crazy Canadian.
Andre's buddy.
Yes. You know, he's been messaging me because he's working on a variation of this, but with prop guards.
Mm. Yeah, he showed me that. It's really cool looking.
It's very cool looking.
Yeah.
There we go.
I guess he's assuming that he's going to run it into everything.
Hey, it's Blake. I just saw that guy. I helped him airplane
Balake Aaron, how you doing, buddy? It's been a really long time since we've caught up.
That's why when I stood up to go get my soda here, my knees decided they didn't want to work because I've been running up and down a cliff face all afternoon chasing airplanes.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yep. So, do we want to go ahead and get this show on the road?
That's it.
Oh my god! Wait! You want to get the show started early? What's wrong with you?
Oh, it's a minute. Come on. Wouldn't that be great to actually do one where it's really kind of on time?
We've only been on time ever once, and I think that was when we were with, after hours too.
And you have to remember, though, we're talking to probably the organizational genius behind everything Flite test.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
We should look somewhat professional or she'll never come back.
That's very true.
I've only ever been on one Flite test podcast, so this is only yep.
Very, very true.
Well,
you were also on one of the after hours.
Yes, I've been on them once also. So
yeah, and that was with all the wives.
It was. I think we had Lindsay, me, Anna, and then Chris's wife.
Yep. Mm-hmm. That was a great show.
Yeah, that was an awesome show.
Valentine's Day.
I told Josh we do one for Mother's Day. Get all the wives together, just kick the guys out of the room.
That'd be really cool.
That would be awesome.
That would be very, very funny.
I'll go in on Tuesday and pitch it to Stefan and see what happens.
Oh, I'm sure he'd be all over it.
Yes.
Absolutely.
We have a few more wives now, so we're not sure how we'd all fit around the table, but we'd make it work.
Yeah, you guys can figure it out.
Yeah.
Move the whole setup into the conference room there on the other side of the wall.
Right, exactly.
Oh, too funny.
That's
yeah.
right.
Can we do the 5 seconds baseline?
Yeah.
5 seconds of baseline starting now. And good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Flight Test Community Podcast. And oh, wait, that's right. This is an episode 27. I haven't been here in a minute.
No,
episode 29. We're almost at the big 3-0. Almost.
Two behind. Wow.
That means this millennial's got to party it up for episode 30. Just kidding. No, we're going to party right now with Jen Bixler in the house. And thank you.
Oh my gosh, it's Jen Bixler.
Right?
and that guy who just spoke, that'd be Mike Finley. I don't know. I barely recognize him because I haven't seen him in a minute. And the other guy, the other scraggly one over on that far side, I don't know. He's been complaining about sore knees. I couldn't think why. But that right there is Patrick Sean Murphy.
Hello. I have the windblown look tonight.
Yes, as do I, except that's because I was wearing a baseball cap and clearly, yeah. Oh, you got Bruno was some. Where is Bruno?
Did you lose Bruno?
I think we did. He's not in his jail. Bru!
Bruno's in the loose.
I don't know where he is. I really don't know.
Allison will find him.
Yeah, we might want to find him. Anyway, distraction alert. So
speaking of dogs, Jen, it looks like you housed Max at the at James Bixler's house during the whole trip.
We did. They were nice enough to let Max hang out with them and all their animals and everything. So, yeah.
Yep, I saw a picture of Max chilling on a chair. He looked very relaxing and relaxing.
Ceiling fan, propeller.
Yeah, right, with the propeller ceiling fan, yes.
Yes.
It's very nice.
And he was a little bit more difficult than usual this time. Max has an eye condition now where he needs drops twice a day. So they had a little extra work with him this time.
Poor Max.
Oh, poor guy. What's it, like allergies or?
No, they said he has an autoimmune deficiency in his eye. And his eye is trying to reject his cornea, so he needs drops a couple times a day to keep that.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Poor guy.
7-year-old dog is old. I don't know. So, but it's looking much better. It was all red and bloodshot, and now it's really good. So
wonderful.
Yep.
Glad to hear Max is doing well.
Yeah.
Look forward to seeing him at Flite Fest.
For sure. He didn't make it out the West for sure. So
yeah.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about West. How did you enjoy it?
I did. It was definitely a different experience. I told Josh, I said, I'm so used to seeing all you guys every day, and I didn't know most of the volunteers. Sign up for a shift or something, and I'd have no idea who I was talking to. But that, and then the first day, Josh pulled into the, not really campgrounds, the fairgrounds, I think it was that. It was just completely different than Malvern. It took me a good hour or two to wrap my head around all the differences, and they had set up most of the store for me, so I also had to wrap my head around that a little bit too.
I bet.
Yeah. So. Yeah,
and the location was a little different for the storefront as well, being in inside what essentially looked like a hangar, but it was the main convention space as well. So you guys had a really beautiful open air lobby that basically housed everything for the event.
We did. That part was nice. That way, if we had extra wind or rain or anything, we didn't have to worry about pulling stuff in or shutting curtains or anything at the inside. So that was definitely
nothing got completely covered in dust.
Right, exactly. We're inside and nothing was tilting from the unlevel ground. It was all nice concrete. So
I've been wanting to ask you this because I remember last year at the end of Flite Fest seeing that everything was dust covered.
Yes.
How did you guys deal with that?
All of the merchandise that you can wear, we actually had to send to the cleaners.
Oh, wow.
Well, there's some extra cost.
That's pricey. Yeah.
Yeah, we had to do that, and then we took a blower, like a compressor with a blower, and blew off all the bags. Tried to get as much dust as we could, and I think they'd even have to wipe them in shipping before they could send anything. So.
Oh wow.
That was definitely bad. We talked to Austin afterwards, and he's going to get us a better tent setup this year. So I'm excited for that.
That would be,
maybe some flooring or something.
Those clear, the clear panels on the tent side did not protect very well at all.
They come in 3 and 4 times a day. The fire department spray down, and it didn't help at all. It was crazy dusty. Yeah.
No, I still have Malvern dust on some of my planes downstairs.
Yes, you do. Yeah,
it's still inside one of my cars.
Yeah.
Some of our equipment, as we unboxed it to set it up for Flite Fest West, we had to like wipe it off and clean it, and we're like, wow.
Yeah.
Well, sorry to derail the Flite Fest West conversation, but I have been wondering that, and I've been wondering what in the world did they do with all of that?
Yeah, all of the jackets and like the Adidas hoodies and everything. Yeah, everything had to be sent out to the dry cleaning. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Live and learn, I guess, huh?
I know. I was going to offer to wash it here, and then I saw how much there was, and I said no.
Yeah. No, that would have taken you several days.
I just go to a laundromat and do it all at once.
Yes, absolutely.
I noticed something that I did not notice at Flite Fest last year when I was looking at some of the videos that showed the store out at Flite Fest West.
Yes.
We burned all those gremlins sideways.
Yes. All
the boxes. I never noticed it. I'm like, oh, wow, we burned them all
I will say, we had so many people wanting to buy those. And I would not let them. I said, you have no idea how hard the volunteers worked on this. But yeah, I was excited because each year it gets a little more to what I want the store to be. We get a little better displays and everything. And so this year was really close at West. I have a couple more tweaks I want to make. But we had a gentleman come in and he was complimenting, the branding and the marketing of it and the way we set stuff up. And, I was like, oh, okay, thank you. And then he said, yeah, I used to do that for Skechers. And I was like,
wow.
Oh my gosh, I need this something.
Yeah,
nice.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, so I made sure to let Austin and Josh know, and I said, I'm not lying. I have witnesses.
That's great.
Yeah, yep.
That's brilliant. Brilliant. Oh, I'm glad you had a good time out there. So what exactly? Explain to the audience who may not necessarily know what is exactly your role, other than of course being Josh's significant other and better half, and as he says, the one that runs the entire show.
She's queen of Flight Test.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, for normal day-to-day, used to be shipping and manufacturing, but now I do customer service. And then added to those lovely responsibilities, I get to clean their bathrooms once a week. So that's, yeah, right.
Did that come with a pay raise?
It did not. I wish it did. I do complain a lot when I'm doing it. So.
Well, I can tell you when I was at headquarters, they were nice.
Yeah. I tried to
well, at least before he walked in.
No.
Right. Give them a couple days because I'm in on Tuesdays, and there are a couple Tuesdays that the guys want to go out for Mexican, and so I'm like, I'm not cleaning them until we get back because that's just point.
And the dirt starts to fly.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Well, hey, you can't knock them for trying to enjoy Taco Tuesday. So
that's for sure.
So, in terms of customer service, you're answering all the emails that come through. You handle a team of customer service individuals as well, along with the lovely, the famous, the infamous, I should say, Flying Monkey, Fred Provost.
Yes.
His ears
Ian Mitchell Gray are my counterparts right now. So, yep.
Excellent.
Okay, cool.
Yes, his ears are probably ringing. He's probably listening in somewhere. So, hello, Fred.
Yeah, if you say his name 3 times, he pops up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
He absolutely does that.
Yes.
He does. He does a good job at it.
Yeah.
He does a very good job. I wish I knew more of the electrical part of it. I do need to learn that. But I deal a lot with like the returns or the mistakes in shipping or damaged goods, that kind of stuff. Yep. And then answer questions I can, and the ones I can't, I either send to Fred or Mitch, depending upon what the issue is.
Depending on how technical they are.
Yeah. Or if an idiot decides to buy 2 gremlins and doesn't order the receivers for them.
Hi, Mike. Didn't I tell you something about the receiver system?
Yeah, well, I was trying to hurry up and get them before they all ran out.
Yes.
And
they sold out.
Yeah. Well, I do want to say you guys got a winner with this thing.
Yes,
I love it.
Nice. Blown those things like crazy and yet to break one, so it's pretty cool. Yeah, we've actually got them cutting out in the garage right now, the frame. So,
well, if it's any consolation, I still owe Josh and that all the DVR, the second Flite that I put on mine. I was power looping the monkey bars out on the playground that we have just around the corner here, and doinked the camera to the point where the lens fell off and ejected the battery. The frame, however, is still in one piece. So it's definitely a winning combination.
Yeah, I think this is going to be one of your best sellers. I think it might be your best selling. I'm just guessing. This might, in my opinion, this will be your best selling product yet.
Yeah, and they're going to keep coming out with these things. They're hoping once a month. So.
Yep. Yeah, that's awesome.
That's fantastic. So, are you also responsible for the team that does the shipping and receiving still, or your primary role is now exclusively
customer service? And then any events, I do run the store at the events, but no, I don't really do anything with shipping and manufacturing anymore. I do have to deal with them on a day-to-day basis with customer service issues and stuff, but yeah, I don't. They're about an hour from us now, so. I definitely prefer not to have an hour commute every day. So,
so definitely.
When you got out to California and you walk in and everything's on pallets from the store, semi set up or whatever it was, you look at this. What was forgotten? What did you guys leave behind?
Yeah. Oh my goodness, so much. Some of it was our fault, and then some of it. Shipping and manufacturing, I guess, ran out of time and just didn't send it. So it was a little bit on both of our parts.
Okay.
But the thing we ran out the quickest was boxes of foam.
Oh, okay.
Oh, really?
Yes, which I kind of predicted because shipping those boxes are quite expensive, especially clear to California. So we ran out of foam, we ran out of receivers, transmitters, batteries. We ran out of batteries like crazy.
Wow. Yeah. Well, that's good from a business standpoint.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah.
So
great.
Yep. And I think the guys that had to get there a little early and start setting up the store without me will appreciate me a little better now. I tease them. They FaceTime me and be questioning me because I couldn't go out as early as them with the boys, because they were coming with me and only missed a couple days of school. So they definitely had to do, I'm going to guess, about 70% of the work before I even got there. So.
Oh, it's incredible.
Yep.
and as we saw, the crates that were created at Flite Fest 16, they were there. There were some fabulous new additions. Do you want to talk a little bit about some of the new additions in the storefront?
We do. Josh, Chad, and Chad Lewis, worked on displays for the electronic packs. So basically, the top two shelves are going to be the electronic packs. We have the A and the F, or the A and the A twin together, I believe, and maybe even the F. And then the batteries that correspond with those are going to be right below them. And then the a la carte items. If you just want to buy an extra motor, an extra ESC, servo, any of that, it's all going to be right together and organized. And we also tried to organize the planes this year so that the A power packs were right next to the planes that would take that pack. So tried to be a little more organized, a little more efficient.
Cool.
Vertical. Yep.
And the same famous airplane racks with every flight test design built, scratch built, ready to go.
Had about, I'm going to say 28 of them ready to go down there with us. We were about 20 short. But, oh my goodness, we tried.
I remember the vlog that was put out with all the guys building. Even you got Andres Lou involved in some of that building.
Still more than anyone that night. I think he got 3 planes done that night, and everybody else got 1. So, yeah, yep.
That's fantastic. And go for it.
We also got some metal grating to hang the propellers and the decals and anything mini that could just slide on hooks. We were able to hang here, and we had a pretty cool display for the FPV, multi-rotors, goggles, all that stuff up behind you, so you could kind of see what you wanted, pull it down, look at it, and then we go back and get it for you. So.
Oh, that's a great idea.
We're getting there.
How about the picture display that you had at East? Was that at West, or you guys are going to build something similar to it come down the line?
It was. We couldn't fit it in the store. There were no curtains in the store area. So what I did is the indoor build tents. I went around and hung them all over there. So Yep, and I made sure to print pictures from last year's Flite Fest, so those were included too. And yep, I'll try to print some from this past Flite Fest to hang up at East. So yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool though as you're hanging them up. You get to look at those pictures. I mean, clear back from 7 years ago, some of them, and it's amazing just everything that's happened. So definitely cool.
Hey, Jen, there's a weird guy behind you.
Yeah, look out for that strange guy that just walked in the door.
He's still got his backpack on from the. I don't know if you can see. There he goes.
Hey, Mike, what's up, buddy?
Good times. Only on the Flite Test Community Podcast live episodes, guys, would you have gotten that delightful rendition.
Oh, we can get you more dancing if that's what you want. You actually have to leave soon and go get our kid from youth group.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I'm like, I'm going to get some coffee. All right, love you guys.
Yeah, take it easy, Josh. Thanks.
Thank you, Josh.
The one and only time that he's not on camera, right?
Okay. Okay, so now that he's going to go pick up the kid, right? So we can really talk?
Exactly.
Yeah, hurry up and get out, Josh. We got things to talk about.
What do you want to know? I got a good one for you. Everybody thinks he is so sweet. And then I have a story for you. So me and the kids get off the plane. Mike's right here staring at me. So
hey, Mike.
The plane for Flite Fest West.
Hello.
And can you let Max out? And we're exhausted, jet lag. We've been up since 3 in the morning, tired. So we leave the In-N-Out burger place, and we're getting ready to head over to the grounds. And he's like, Jen, I need you to caffeinate up. There's a lot of work to do in the store. And I'm like, what? So I did. He bought me caffeine. We went over, and we worked till, Mike, about 10 o'clock at night. Went back, had dinner, got to bed, had to be up early the next morning to start Flite Fest. Well, Josh and Heather Scott get there on Thursday, the first day of the event. They have the same flight as us and everything. So they come into the grounds, they come into the store to say hi, and Josh happened to be there, and he's like, you know what? You guys need to go get some rest and rest up for tomorrow. And I'm sitting here thinking, what? I was like, I have to do is walk around. I actually work. So there are not perks to being married to Josh, that's for sure.
You know what they say, if you can put someone to work, you sure will be put to work at a big event like that.
Yes.
I talked to him about it later, and he's like, well, I know your work ethic. I knew you could do it. And I'm like, yeah, but still.
Really? You're his wife.
Vacation. We're in California.
Yep.
So here's a question for you.
Okay.
Take yourself back in time to before all the flight tests started, and Josh, he was like fiberglass or auto body or something like that, right?
Specialty parts for Corvettes, right?
In
Okay.
the very beginning, he fixed copiers, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he's working this job, and then this flight test thing comes along, and they're doing videos, and then one day he has to approach you and say, I'm thinking about buying the company or taking over the company or whatever the conversation was.
Yep.
What's that like?
That was probably just as scary as when he decided to quit his full-time job making decent money to just work for Flite. Yeah. I think that was the more scary, because I wasn't sure if it was going to go. They'd never really sold kits or anything before. And Mike's laughing. Yeah, I mean, painting Corvette parts and Mustang parts, I could see it coming because he was spending just as much time on the videos, and designing planes as he was at his full-time job. Okay. And I knew eventually one or the other was going to have to win out. And I think I was on board with him, though, even though it made me nervous because working for family is just uncomfortable, and he worked for my brother. Okay. So that just made things weird. He'd work with my dad and brothers all day, and I don't know. I said I was okay with a little bit of separation there. So, yeah, that's when the story goes that we sold the house and moved in with his mom. So,
yep.
Yeah.
So really not getting away from the in-laws at all.
What's that?
He wasn't getting away from the in-laws at all by leaving that job.
Right.
You moved
in with his mom. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
His mom. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
We were going to move in with his mom and dad, but his dad had just passed. So we still kept the goal to move in with his mom. And it lasted about 1.5 years, and then I told him, it's time. It's time.
It's about time that we get that separation back.
Yeah, we got to get out of here.
We did. Yep. We ended up moving here, and we love it here. So, yeah.
Awesome.
But then shortly after we moved into this house is when it did happen to when Josh and Chad kind of parted ways, and we had to decide which way to go, because there were a couple offers on the table, and basically none of the companies would purchase it unless Josh was willing to stay on and run it. So the ball was kind of in our court as to which way we went, and that was a little scary.
Yeah.
But it all turned out pretty well, I think. So at least so far, we'll see.
and since that moment, Flite Test is kind of, I mean, you've always, I think since the moment that that Chad departed, I feel like you and Josh really are the ones who have driven the ship and, allowed Flite Test to blossom the way it has. And just to see the exponential growth, I mean, that you're talking about a time frame when I was just really getting into it.
Okay.
And, Eric was still on the team, and, Peter was on full time. And it's when you guys were in Florida that all of this was starting to occur. And just being able to watch the exponential growth between, just thinking back at the beginning of 2015 to where we are now, beginning almost halfway through 2017 already. It's insane. And you look at the number of views that are on YouTube. You look at the fact that we have this podcast going now. We have you guys have your own podcast going now. It just the community growth and development has been unbelievable. Do you still feel the same connection to the community as it was way back when?
I think so. I think almost more so now since Flite Fests have started. It's easier to really get to know people and to form that bond in person, and then to see them year after year. Before Flite Fest ever started, it was hard to really know people. I mean, you would kind of know of them and chat back and forth maybe online a little bit here and there, but it wasn't until Flite Fest took off that really the bonds were made, and you feel like you really do have this huge extended family. So,
Yeah, that we all feel that way too. I mean, we all have such great experiences and made great friends through Flite Test and specifically Flite Fest.
Yeah.
So from our standpoint, we're truly grateful for what you guys have done, because we've got some of the best friends we've ever had through it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's why Flite Fest West was a little more challenging for me, because I'm so used to really meeting, seeing you guys there and seeing that core group every year and kind of knowing not everyone that's coming through, but a lot of them. And Flite Fest West was a whole new group of people. We did have a couple volunteers that were the same, but for the most part, it was a lot of different people. So, Michael, stop it. Stop it.
Knock it off, young man.
Mike secretly wants to come on the show a little bit, so that's fine.
I know he keeps pacing around here, so
no, not that we mind, Mike, at all.
No, there's a good idea for an episode.
Yeah,
Mikey and Noah.
We'll have to have Mike and Noah, and we have Mike. We have to tell the story of the 200% sea duck one of these days as well, because that was fantastic.
It is still hanging in the garage, so
it better be.
Awesome.
We worked really hard on that thing.
A few repairs from hanging. It's starting to.
Well, it's fixing the warp from being in the sun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it's fun. The cruiser definitely needs more help. Noah's cruiser is definitely a little rougher than the guinea pig. So. Yeah.
Good. Because that was fun.
Louis Rusi made a comment. He says, anyone else notice Jen has great lighting and the guys are gray? I think she needs to fix up everyone's podcast.
There's lights above my head from the counter. So
my gray's because I'm old.
Yeah, that's tungsten light. Can't be helped, unfortunately. But thanks, Louis. We appreciate the support. And anyway, I have to set the mood with one of the very final shows of Wishes that will be out this window here in the not too distant future, which is Yeah, I meant to tell you on Tuesday, Alison and I are going to watch our final rendition of Wishes at the park. So that will be Tuesday after work. So we are looking forward to that. And then the new show, Happily Ever After, should be quite entertaining. Except for the fact that they decided to launch the fireworks at 1:30 in the morning.
Oh, I just
Thursday. Yep. We were pissed.
I think a couple. I'm not sure. I follow one or two Disney things on Facebook, and I did see an alert that they were testing out new fireworks tonight. You know, please excuse the noise. And I
wish I would have seen that.
yeah.
I wish we would have been told. No, of course they don't let the local area know. We fall outside of the 4-mile limit where we are, so of course we don't get the warning. But no, so the store is kind of the big hub during the Flite Fest events, and of course that's where everyone can pick up all of their gear and so forth. So is there a particular item during Flite Fest events that you see selling more of, or is there a particular kit that becomes more popular during a Flite Fest that normally sells pretty well online?
I will say, I think the biggest sellers, anyway, from this past Flite Fest was the Bloody Wonder, the Bloody Baron, and the Arrow. Those three, and then of course the Tiny Trainer for all the new people coming through that want kind of a basic plane. Yeah, but the swag sells better than I think anything at events. So definitely t-shirts, mugs, jackets, that stuff. Those are crazy at the events. Yeah.
You guys probably make a killing with those.
Yeah, and Stefan had designed 3 new shirts for this year besides the Flite Fest shirt. So we had the Kraken shirt, and then the blue and the red with the round logo on it. So.
Mm-hmm.
Which I love the Kraken shirt. That thing looks fantastic, and I like the fact that you have colors other than black.
Yes, we're working on it slowly but surely.
I got to get me one of those. Just for the pure, what is on your shirt? I don't In fact, funny story. While I was in South Florida, and recently last weekend, actually, I was wearing this shirt, and of course, everyone turns around and they're like, "What? Fight test?
Yes.
What is Fight Test? I don't understand. No, it's Flight Test. It's a YouTube channel based on model aviation. And then they're like, oh, no, I get it. And then you say drone, and then they're like, oh, yeah.
Yes. Yep.
It's delightful, the reaction that
I get flute test more than anything. People think
flute test.
Yeah. And they're like, what is flute test? And I'm like, well, it's flight test.
Go on YouTube. Trust me, you will not be disappointed.
Yeah.
My wife and I were out at breakfast a couple weeks ago, and she tells me, she says, these people keep staring at you, and they're like back to me, so they're staring at my back, and I'm like, the only thing we can figure it out is they're looking at my shirt and Flight, and it's the podcast shirt, but we saw a Flight Test on it.
Yeah.
But the only thing I can figure out is they're probably looking at my shirt and saying, they don't even know how to spell.
Especially that shirt in particular, because you've got Build Knights spelled NITES. And then in the back, it's Flight Test Community Podcast on the.
Well, it's on phonics.
Something, yeah.
Yep. In fact, we might need some recommendations from a store expert. We're trying to kickstart some merchandise of our own, so that we can get some FTCC people running around Flite Fest.
Definitely the next level is the branded T-shirts we've been using lately, and they're really soft. They don't really shrink up. Decent T-shirt, much better than our original shirts for sure.
Cool.
Yes, that's fantastic.
We'll have to talk to you about that.
Yes. Yeah, we'll definitely pick your ear for that one as well.
Yeah.
So back in the early days, I remember one great story is the story of one of the laser machines being in one of your garages, and you guys cutting was it the Spitfire and the Vingen kits very early on?
Let's think. In the very beginning, we didn't have one at the house, but it was in the garage, kind of in the basement of Chad's office at the time. And Josh and I were the only 2 manufacturers and shippers. So, yeah, we started out with the 3-pack and then moved on to the Spitfire, the Cruiser, Baby Blender, and it just kind of went from there. So, yep.
And we're up to what, 40 some airplanes now?
48 planes now. Yeah, yeah.
Until I saw your store display with all of the airplanes listed on, like, in the columns, I didn't realize how many products you guys have put out.
Yeah, it's a little overwhelming when you've got to try to decide how much to take with you and pack up to go across the country. That was definitely the most challenging for me, because they wanted me to kind of go over numbers from last year and decide. And so, yeah. So
basically, bring extra arrows, bring extra bloody wonders, bring extra barons, and we'll be okay.
Foam and batteries.
Yeah. So before I go, because unfortunately I got to depart a little bit early, but Jen, I'll come back and we'll catch up properly a bit later on. Tell us one of your favorite memories of flight test, or something with Josh and flight test.
There's so many, because I mean I have a selfish personal favorite. It has nothing to do with Josh.
Well, let's go with that then.
I'll go with that one first. But yeah, because usually flight test. I mean, I like airplanes, but not quite as much as some of the guys. You know, it's more I like the organization, and I don't mind talking to people, and I like running the store. That's more my thing. But flight test definitely has a way of worming its way into our lives pretty much 24/7 weekends. It doesn't matter if you have planes or not, something comes up. And so I was super excited. It was a year ago in January, and we were at the AMA Expo out in California. And a gentleman came in, and he had a signed poster from Planes, Fire, and Rescue. He was an animator for Disney, and he was a super fan of Josh. Yes. And yeah, his name's Juan. Yep. And so he's all excited. He presented Josh with the poster, wanted his picture with him. And so before he left, I was like, well, I have to get my picture with you. And he was shocked, but he let me do it. And then when he found out I'm kind of a Disney nut, he came back the following day and told us that we could come out to the studio he works for and get a behind-the-scenes tour of one of the Disney studios. And to me, that was like, oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I said definitely a perk of being there. So
being a Disney freak, I completely empathize with that.
John Lasseter's office, and I got in trouble for taking pictures. They had to tell me to stop, and I'm like, okay.
As soon as they walked away, you kept taking more.
Yeah. I pretty much didn't delete them, so I still have them all.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and pass control back over to Mikey. But Jen, it's always a pleasure. Thank you so much.
No, thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, of course. And I'm going to let these two continue on, because I got to get back to my better half now. But it's been a long weekend. They'll explain after the show. But we'll catch up a little bit later on.
All right. We'll see you.
Have a good one, guys.
Yeah. Take care, Joel. See you, buddy.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Yeah. So we got rid of Joel.
Yeah. Right, yes. Yeah, but Juan actually made it out to Flight Fest West, so I was excited to get to see him again. So, yeah.
Oh, good.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I guess Sharpoo actually works out there at Disney as well, doesn't he? Or is he Pixar?
DreamWorks, I think.
DreamWorks, yeah. I can't remember. They're also...
Yeah, I know, yeah. DreamWorks, and I guess he does the facial expressions. He did it for Megamind and then Baby Boss, the new movie.
Yeah, I saw the Baby Boss thing. Yeah.
Yep. Funny. But I thought that was, and the guy was totally shocked that I would want my picture with him, and I was like, "Are you kidding me? You draw for Disney."
Exactly.
He also met one of the 98 Degree guys. I don't really know his name because I'm not into that, but that event. He came in at his big 98 Degree tattoo, and I'm like, I think he's from the music group. And one of the guys, his wife likes them, and he's like, yeah, I think he is. So yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
There's some group of people you get to meet for sure.
Yeah. So now I remember the story that you told about when you guys were in Disney, and like there's a crowd of people.
Yeah.
So,
it was our first time taking the kids to Disney, and we're used to airplane events. You know, everybody knows Josh, wants to meet Josh. We're used to that. Even in airports now, it's pretty common. But we were at Disney with the kids, and we had been into a dance party with like Woody and Jesse and Buzz. The kids were a lot smaller then, so that was a big deal. And we came out, and there's this big group of people standing off to the one side, and I thought, oh my gosh, we're going to get to meet another character. So me and the boys start getting closer to the center of this group, and it's Josh. not quite what I wanted to see, but hey.
Well, I can tell you this year we're gonna totally ignore Josh, and you're getting all the attention this year. So
Well,
Funny.
it's still like, you know what, you are such a nice person, and you work so hard at Flite Fest. I mean, you really do. You work as hard as or harder than anybody there. But yet you took the time to go home and make us Mountain Dew cupcakes.
I did.
That night, that one night, and I still am just like blown away by that.
I felt so bad. You guys were in the heat, putting those Gremlin logos on all those crates. I figured when I asked them to make kind of a branding thing that it would just be quicker and easier, and I had no clue it'd be that it was. And you guys still put up with it and did all of that. So I was like, I have got to do something.
Yeah, but what time did you sleep that night? Because I know you guys were there till late.
We got a couple hours. Yeah.
couple hours.
The whole weekend is we don't get a lot of sleep during Flite Fest.
Yeah. None of us do, but
none of us.
But you know, we can escape and go relax.
Right. And it's hard running the store because so far we haven't actually had another person that knows everything and is I don't really know what the word is. Like last year, poor Liz was 8 months pregnant. You know, she couldn't stand all day and out in the heat. And then, you know, we love Bob, but Bob's 76. I didn't want to make him stand all day out in the heat either. And then my third was a volunteer, and the poor gentleman, I don't remember his name, but he was waiting on a kidney transplant. And I'm sitting here thinking, there's no way I can work these people this hard. But I do. I enjoy being in there. I did get a little bit more of a break at Flite Fest West. Josh Scott's wife wants to be more involved with the store now.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, and she learned the register really quickly, and, you know, people loved having her at the store. So I was able to take slightly longer breaks, which was amazing. Yeah, I probably got out, I don't know, maybe for half an hour for lunch and dinner, and that was enough. That was awesome. I'd get to go sit down and eat, which was great.
Yeah, that's kind of an amazing thing to be able to do at Flite Fest. And
yes, it is.
Eating, yes.
Yeah,
what a novel idea.
Yeah.
Novel concept.
Yeah,
it is.
I mean, I am exhausted after Flite Fest. I mean, I'm wiped out.
Yep.
I can't imagine how you guys feel. I mean, you have to just be like, it's got to take you a week to recover. Has to.
It takes a while. It does. Because we get home, you know, we don't want to leave, and the store's open late, and then you want to stay and watch night flying and just hang out a little bit after, and you've got the drive home and the drive back. But I mean, we enjoy it when we're there, but definitely by the time Sunday's done, we're ready to take a nap. Well, and Josh last year took a nap behind the curtain in the store. So
Yes, he did. I remember that.
I told him, I said, you can't be walking around. He literally looked like he was on something. And I said, this is not good. He'd only had, I think, an hour the 2 nights previous. And so I set him back there with a bottle of water. And when I went to check on him, he was asleep. So I just left him until he woke up.
Yep.
So, yep.
Yeah, pretty much zombies after that.
Yes.
Well, I remember the one night, it had to be Saturday night. You guys were leaving. You guys were driving out, and you couldn't find Mike or Noah. Yes. And Josh, I don't think he could articulate a sentence at that point.
We had to pull over. I had to drive home. Yeah.
That doesn't shock me.
Yeah, it doesn't shock us.
We were worried. We were like, how is he going
to got to that Dairy Queen right there at the end, and I told him, you need to pull over. I can make, you know, sentences here. Yeah.
It looked like he was melting in the car.
And he's so funny. I keep telling him he has to take time, and this sounds ridiculous, but to eat and go to the bathroom. He won't do that. And I'll finally see him, and he'll be like, Jen, I can't even get to the bathroom. And so we'll try to, you know, distract and get him in there. But yeah, I told him, you have to drink. You have to use the bathroom. People understand. It's okay.
Well, I'll bring him some Depends this year. So.
Yeah, Depends on one of those helmets with like the drink holders on it.
The two. Yeah, so you can have 2 bottles of water.
Right.
Well, we've got a question off of YouTube, and it's what's old is noob is the guy's call sign or whatever. And he says, do you know ahead of time what new products are coming down the line? And if so, does that help you with the planning of the store layout?
I usually do. that does help being married to Josh, because I pretty much know everything that's coming. Other than the electronics they order, I don't always know the new up-to-date electronics, but any products they're actually going to make, I usually know, because he'll sit here in the evenings and design and cut on the laser and then come in and fit it together. And yeah, so yeah, that definitely does help for Flite Fest and stuff. And yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure it probably does.
Yeah, and it grows. It's amazing how much it grows from year to year.
Oh, I know. From 15 to 16, I couldn't believe the difference in the size of the store and what you guys were offering. It was just unbelievable.
And the displays were fantastic.
Oh, they were unbelievable.
It was basically cardboard boxes and little plastic tubs lined up on tables, and that's all we had.
Yep.
Yeah,
exactly.
so we've definitely come a long way. That's for sure. Yeah. Yep.
Well, I think that's probably why you got the kudos from the guy from Skechers.
Yes. Last year, they had brought someone in to kind of help us run Flite Fest, just to kind of do the logistics behind the scenes and stuff. And her and I had words numerous times over displays and how things should be laid out. And she's never been a part of model airplanes or anything quite like Flite Fest before. And I kept trying to tell her, it's not what you're thinking. You know, there's huge parts to tiny parts. And I kept trying to tell her, I do know what I'm talking about. I promise you. And so we did go back and forth a little bit. She won on some and I won on some. And everyone seemed to like mine better than hers, which was awesome, because then I got she's no longer a part of it, so it's all good. I may have given Josh a pretty hard time about that one.
Yeah, showed her, didn't you?
I told him, I said, this is one thing I feel super confident on. You know, I've done this store now for a couple years. I know what I'm talking about. Just let me do it. So I think he believes me now.
That's good. That's really good. So you guys picked up quite a few new people. I mean, I was surprised because of course I was out at headquarters here, a month or so ago, and was talking to Josh a little bit, and you guys have 26 full-time employees now.
Yes, between the two locations. Yeah.
Yeah. How crazy is that?
It is crazy. And we actually have some ladies working for the Canton branch now, which is awesome. I'm not the only girl in the area anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Gives me a little more leverage for some more ladies' products and stuff. So.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And I know that Pat will be right back in. I think his computer froze up again. So
I was going to say he disappeared down there.
Yeah, he just suddenly is gone, and it happens once in a while. But no, it was really cool. It's too bad I didn't get to see you while I was out there.
Yes.
Because I really wanted to see everybody, but you had a lot going on and all that. Oh, Pat's computer died. He said he'd be back in a minute. He probably didn't plug it in. So Pat and I are coming back out.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to be out over Memorial Weekend. We're going to show up Thursday evening and be through till Monday,
all right.
Memorial Day. So hopefully we can get a chance to at least see you once while we're out there.
Right. Yeah. I'll switch it up that we can come in on Friday.
Lock your doors and draw your blinds.
Yeah, you might want to do that, but
No, you guys are welcome.
Yeah, that's one thing I will say, that everybody down there just makes you feel like $1 million when you walk in the place. It's got to be the friendliest place I've ever been in my life. I mean, just unbelievable.
Josh is working on right now a location for a destination location, so we can actually have people out, and because right now it's harder to. There's not much to see at the Canton office.
Right.
Yeah. So we're excited. He's talking to some people now, and he thinks he has a location in mind. And
oh, good. Because I know it kept changing. I mean, there was things that were happening, and then they kept falling through. And yeah. So, well, hopefully this does come to fruition, because I think it's going to be pretty amazing for everybody.
I hope so too. Yeah.
How much longer do you guys have at the Canton location? Because previously you guys were supposed to have been out of there in the spring because of the dirt pile absorbing everything.
We're month to month right now. With the gentleman, we just have a month-to-month lease. So I think whenever we're ready to go, he's ready for us to go.
Okay.
That dirt pile's moving a whole lot quicker these last couple months. So yeah.
Yeah, you can see it.
Yes.
And what are they doing with that? Are they doing something with the overpass, or?
We heard rumor that he wants to build a hotel there, so he's trying to build it up and make it flat. But I mean, I don't know for sure. He hasn't really come in and told us. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, all for that that whole mall thing up there.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. God, what do they call that again? I don't remember what they call that whole strip of the restaurants and all that stuff up there on that.
Strip. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That, and then I don't know. I guess a lot of people come in for the Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
Hall of Fame draws a lot of people. I'm not sure what else draws people to Canton, Ohio, but apparently it draws somebody.
Flight test in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Yeah. Flight test in the Hall of Fame's all I know.
Right.
There's an air museum there, but
There is Maps Air Museum. Yep.
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, and I never even stopped by there.
The guys have all been there, and my boys have been there, but I've never actually been in. Yeah,
Oh, there
I
you go.
told them about they. I guess in one of their hangars where some of the planes are, they actually allow you to have parties and banquets and stuff. So,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, I looked into it just to get prices in case we needed it eventually. But yeah, I thought that would be a unique location.
Yeah, that would be
That
cool.
would be cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Trying to think ahead. Josh has one more year till he's 40, and so I thought I should do something nice for his 40th birthday. I don't know if it'll be that nice. I'd like to do something. I'm just not quite sure yet what. So I'm still. I have a year, so start thinking about that.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I get it. A couple of people are asking about is Neff Brothers still doing the same kind of a deal to rent from them? Do you know?
As far as I know, they are.
Yeah.
Jordan is on Flight Fest East now, so she's getting all the contacts and securing everything. And I have a feeling they'll be updating the website within the next week or two, because I know she's been trying to get a lot of that answered. So, but that's
Okay.
we're really hoping so.
Okay. Yeah, I was checking. I know I did it 15,
Okay.
and they did a really good job. I mean, a really good job. So
We've always rented from them, so they've got some nice RVs there for sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. Asbjorn and I
Yes.
rated
Yeah.
Mike's RV.
Yeah.
Yes.
He even got to stay in the flight test one for a couple days because he was there a little long.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He was out in the parking lot for a couple days, and then I think he stayed here a couple days. Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he can't make it this year. We're all bummed.
Yeah, we're pretty bummed.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, something about his status, he can't.
Yeah,
Oh.
if he was to leave, he would lose his disability or something.
Oh, okay.
So, because I mean,
Yeah.
you know, he had the stroke, and he don't want to lose any of his
Right.
benefits that he's getting, and I don't blame him for that.
Right. Yeah.
It sure is going to be tough not having him here.
Yes.
Yep. We will miss him greatly.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, a flying buddy of mine, Blake, he shot me a message question for you, Jen. He's bringing his wife to Flight Fest for the first time, and he was asking what she's not really into flying airplanes. What kind of things can she expect there, or what might help her keep busy or interested or entertained or
Send her to the store. No.
that's right. Put her to work.
No, we're hoping to expand the family tent this year, and they kind of laugh at me. I don't name it correctly, but we do want to have some workshops there for the ladies. I'm not exactly sure what we're going to name them, but whether it be, I don't know, painting or photography or whatever we can come up with. But we're hoping to have some things there for the ladies this year as well, because we know we're getting a lot more of women and kids, and it is hard when you're not as into it as the guys to keep yourself busy all day. So
Yeah.
definitely think about that and coming up with things.
He just said he'll send her to the store.
I feel so bad anytime anyone gets sent to work with me, because I'm like, honestly, I'm not a slave driver, but I don't know what else to do.
Well, it's setting up the store is such a massive it's the biggest single undertaking of the whole festival, I think.
I think so. Yeah.
Because it's all on you and a couple of flight test employees and volunteers. It's not like, a tent company's coming in and setting up these big tents or something. I mean,
Right.
You got to get it on the truck. You got to get it there. You got to pack it up and get it back and then unload it.
Yeah.
That's,
Yep.
Yeah.
We've got kind of a system now. So it's easier now that this is our third year using, or third Flite Fest, second year using some of the same displays. So we do have a little more of a layout. And now that Chad Lewis helped as a volunteer one year, now as an employee one year.
What a guy he is too. I mean, that guy's a beast.
He is. Yeah. He cracks me up. Last Flite Fest and the one before, both, he would stay after. And before, he really wanted a job, and we just weren't hiring. We didn't really have a place for him yet. So then last year, he stayed after again, and he was letting us know everything he did and showing us pictures, and stayed with us for about a week. And Josh and I really talked, and we thought, you know what, we're going to see if we can give this guy a shot, because just some of his talents, the painting and the building, and just taking that off Josh's shoulders is huge. And he has definitely been worth his weight in gold for sure.
Wonderful.
Oh yeah. Well, I know when we had the build series, you know, the build nights, he stayed both nights, made sure that we cleaned up and got the table set back up. And I mean, what a guy Chad is. I mean,
spent a lot of
unbelievable.
Time yep. He would come up and I'd be like, "You're still here?" And he's like, "Well, yeah, you need help." And little did we know he's not an experienced flyer, so he really doesn't fly that much, but he just loves the atmosphere and he loves the people and just fun to hang out. So I was like, well, hey, if you love it, I will take it.
So he's not. Well, how did he get to Flite Fest then if he's not really that much into it? Because he's from Kentucky, right?
He is. He loves the videos. He's just not an experienced pilot. I don't think he was doing multi-rotor time, and he could fly, but he said not well. And he'd never really done airplanes at that point. So yeah, it was amazing to us that he wanted to come and hang out, and so.
Well, he can fly a multi-rotor now.
Yes. Yeah.
Super talented guy. Really cool.
Yeah. Unbelievable. So.
Yeah, he's actually the one that built all of our new displays, the ones for the electronic packs and stuff. So that was all him. I showed him kind of a picture of what I wanted, and he said my picture was a tiny bit ambitious, but he scaled it down a little bit and came up with those, and it works great. So.
Hey, we have a suggestion for one of the workshops for the ladies. It's how to deal with your RC addicted spouse.
Yeah,
well, that's more of a support group, I think.
Support. I should start a Flite Fest support group for wives. Yeah. Get our own T-shirts and everything, you know.
Exactly. I'm an RC widow or something like that.
Yes, I do know Josh really wants a T-shirt, which we've never been able to get for him yet. But he wants a giant thumbs up with like a Band-Aid and a blister, and underneath it say, "I made this." Yeah, that's like his dream T-shirt, and I'm like, I'm not sure where I'm supposed to get this, but okay. So, but yeah, definitely good ideas.
Absolutely. Foamy Ninja, which is Chad South, he wants to know if we've heard anything about the world record attempt. Have we heard anything lately that you know of?
We're trying again.
No, I mean, have we heard anything about the certificates or anything like that?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, sorry, I'm back now. I'm fighting with my computer again. I don't think my charger is working as it should. But what's his name? Duran Flyer or I can't.
Mike.
Mike.
What's his last name? God, I know it.
Yeah,
Michael Kaler.
Anyway, he's been posting that Guinness requested some extra information. It's all been sent, and he's just waiting for them to process that last little bit. So it's still ongoing.
Wow.
So apparently it takes a while to get a world record.
God, I guess so.
Wow.
Yeah, we wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Trying to look to see other questions. I know there was some others here.
So, how old are Mike and Noah now?
This summer, Michael will be 13, and Noah's 15 and a half. He actually gets his permit in a week. So,
oh my!
Get off the Ohio highways.
Yes, he actually bought a truck. He's been working on it and fixing it up. So,
nice.
Yep. Yeah, I said it's a big year. This year they turned 13 and 16. So,
wow, those are pretty
big deals.
Yeah, they are.
Yes.
Well, hopefully this year he'll keep his tent tied down.
I know.
That was
They had the worst luck, I'm telling you. What.
that was wild. I mean, we're sitting there under the easy up, and we've got it pulled down because it's pouring. And then all of a sudden, out of my corner of my eye, there's just this thing just flies past, and then his tent is just going and going. Crazy.
Like to kill this poor old man. we run to that other property where the other oil pump is.
Yes.
And run over to the other side of that oil pump to the tree line.
Oh my gosh.
That's where we finally were able to wrangle it. And it was Dan Sponholz's brother is the one that actually caught it.
Oh my goodness.
And then we were walking back, and no sooner than we turned around and started walking back, that's when it really started raining.
We'll have to see it this year, Josh, because I know his avalanche turns into a tent, like the back end of it or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell him, see if he can get that hooked up for the boys that way. Maybe it'll be a little more secure for him.
Yeah. Well, we do have another question from What's Old is Noob again, and he asked if Flite Fest will ever come to like the East Coast, like New York, New Jersey, somewhere up in that area.
I'm not sure. I know Josh's plan is to always have one based in Ohio. That's never going to change. Mm-hmm. And then depending upon how many they, his original goal was for a year, but I personally don't think that's realistic. I think that's just too much. Mm-hmm. If he decides 3 a year, then he does want to always have one on the West Coast, and then the third one will always be different. They'll pick a different state, just go there. And there is a possibility. I don't know how soon or anything like that, but Josh definitely does want to get around for sure.
Oh, so have like a the third one would be like the floating flight test,
yes,
or Flight Fest.
Pretty much. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that would be interesting.
Right. Yeah. And that way, it's never. I don't know. It might always come to your hometown. You know, it might come close. We can kind of hit more people. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Baloo has a question as well. How does Flite Test design on designs for apparel, and who does the designs?
It's been different. It used to be Alex, and then we would all kind of give him our ideas, and he would kind of go with it. The ladies stuff, which is getting a little easier now that we have more ladies. But Stefan has stepped up, and Stefan did the Kraken and the 2 new Circle Cs. Alex and Josh, you had a hand in the Flite Fest one, right?
No, Alex crushed on that.
Alex did it this year. Josh helped last year.
Yeah, I was stubborn last year. I wanted a big back piece with the old vintage prop and crushed it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So kind of a combo effort, but mostly right now, Stefan and Alex. So.
Yeah. Well, that's Stefan. He's a pretty talented individual, isn't he?
He is.
Yeah, boy's crazy.
Energy, I don't even know what, which is awesome.
That dude is.
Yeah.
He is like on. Jeez.
He is.
On 125% of the time. I don't think he ever shuts it off.
His wife and their 5-month-old actually came to help me out in the store this year, Liz and the baby. So, yep, I got to spend a lot of time with them. And on down times, I would try to help her with the baby and take him because mine aren't that little anymore.
Nice. No, and Noah is getting huge.
He is. He just came in. He's over here.
Yeah,
Hi, Noah.
Hi, Noah.
Hey,
You're just talking about your flying tent.
Yeah.
This year, make them go get it. Say, get out of there.
Well, he wasn't anywhere to be found.
No.
Yeah, we hear a lot of like this, especially Mike. I'm never quite sure where he's at. So,
nervous in California.
Yeah, we were a little nervous in California. Thank goodness he has a phone now because I would text Michael, "Where are you?" And his big thing was with the tiny whoop guys. He loves the tiny whoop guys.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool.
Usually he can be found with them. So, yeah.
Nice.
Josh is grinding coffee, so it's going to get noisy here in a minute.
Sorry, guys.
That's all right.
There it goes.
Welcome to the Bixler household.
Keeps Josh happy.
Yeah.
What kind of coffee is he grinding?
8 hour or 8 o'clock?
8 o'clock?
Oh, I thought it would be something fancy.
No.
Like, Monroe does or something like that.
No, Josh is probably the easiest coffee drinker ever. My mom bought him the grinder for Christmas, and he almost took it back. He didn't even want to try it. And I said, well, at least try it. Well, now he does like the fresh ground coffee a little better. So
It's not bitter.
it's not bitter.
Ah, nice.
It's fun though. It's like, you know, when a dog hears the can opener run, how they start salivating. The same thing
Josh
with
here's the coffee grinder. We can find him anywhere in the house.
Come running.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you
Very
guys,
cool.
Yes.
So one of the questions that I'm going to have, and this is probably not directed so much at you, Jen, but just probably to Josh, only because we've got people talking about it a little bit.
Sure.
Like the Gremlins, the micros, and all that stuff that have just like 25 milliwatt transmitters on them. Are we going to have to fly in the FPV area?
are you talking about for the Flite Fest East?
Yeah.
Okay, so after Flite Fest West, there's one key thing, and I haven't even got to talk to Chris Thomas about this, but the one thing that made me feel bad was it was dominated by just people racing, which is cool, but you can race at a QRGO or a league anywhere you want. Talking to Tony Cake and stuff, we're going to try to get an FCC clearance where we can have a full section for fixed wing, we can have a full section for newbies, and a full section for racing. And if we have to dial anything back, my intent is to dial back the racing. I want to make sure people can fly and have fun, you know, with any aspect of FPV, not just the people wanting to race under MultiGP.
Right.
Cool.
So I don't know if you've heard talk about that or not, but you know, there were people whooping it up inside the building while they were racing.
Yeah.
Literally, you guys.
Yeah, it seems like that works pretty darn good. But I love racing, but the whole thing with Flite Fest is to fly and have fun.
Yep.
And racing was amazing. Chris did a great job running it, but there are too many people that you know were like, man, I never got to fly my wing, around and have some fun. So
Gotcha.
I'm gonna make sure that happens this year.
Yeah.
Very
Well, I
cool.
was just kind of wondering about, especially, you know, the tiny whoops and stuff like that. And of course, this wonderful gremlin, man, this thing is so awesome. Huh?
How many things have you gotten to run it into so far?
Oh, about everything in my house. And then actually out in the backyard in a couple of trees and stuff. And you know what? Not even a nick and a prop yet. These things are so amazing.
Oh, they're the perfect combination for indoor and outdoor. And the one thing I feel bad about is Dan Sponholz is going to make some really killer plans. We said early on we're going to post plans for everything. We meant it. I just got taken away with Flite Fest West, and it fell through the cracks.
Sure.
So Dan's going to be nice enough to post 3 plans. Andres Lou designed one. It's right here.
It's over here,
Oh,
Josh.
is it over here?
Yeah.
Andres,
Look at him. He goes into circles.
Yes. Let me tell you.
so Andres Lou has a 3-post design that is absolutely gorgeous. I don't know if you can see that or not,
Oh,
but
look at that.
isn't it beautiful?
Oh, cool.
And when it's built, you can't even appreciate how gorgeous it is until you actually look at it built. I'm kind of partial towards not seeing the props, but his frame, the way it flies and the way it looks is just incredible. So we're going to have Andres
How
out.
old is he?
He should be 40. I mean, seriously.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah, he's going to be driving here, I think, the next 3 or 4 months.
He's about Noah's
So,
age. Yeah, a little older.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
grief.
yeah, he's amazing talent, but so many people are coming out of the woodwork with designs. We're going to make sure we do a justice to have like almost like a what's it called, a thingiverse for gremlin frames.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
So that way there's a whole hub of them, and then also on top of that, we have we talked to Emacs while we're at Flite Fest West. They're going to work on an 1104 power pack, but everything is plug and play. So little micro connectors, because you know how hard it is to solder all those little pins. Everything has a little connector and just stacks, and that'll make it for schools and everything. It'll make it solderless. So that means
Oh, cool. Yeah, for the STEM stuff, that'd be fantastic.
Wonderful.
you guys know you can go up to 3-cell on those, right?
Yes, and I'm thinking about doing that.
Well, they told me that if you put the 12 amp ESCs on it, you can go up to 4-cell, which I don't even think that's realistic. I think that's just insane because the 2-cell,
Those motors will handle 4.
they say it will. So we'll talk about it before we advertise it. But I was like, there's a language barrier, something's wrong. They insist no, you can put a 12 amp ESC on there and go all the way up to 4-cell.
Do it, Mike.
Wow.
Fly in the house.
Yeah, with a 4-cell in the house. Yeah, I'll have to be replacing every bulb in my house.
Have you all built a gremlin?
What's that?
You're the only one that's built a gremlin. I think Joel built a gremlin, right?
Joel built one. I built one. and I actually have an extra one because I have some ideas about instead of making a quad, I was thinking about making some airplanes.
Yes, like maybe
Yes.
like teeny weeny little Kraken
or something of such nature.
Yeah, love it. It's gonna be a really great motor for a lot of different reasons. So
yeah, we just need that little thin foam now.
Yeah. You know, here's the inside scoop on that thin foam. They extrude it at half the speed of our normal foam.
Ouch.
Because of that, it's not twice the price. It's like 3 times the price.
Yep.
And it's warping. So they're working really hard to try to get us the price down and make it feasible, and then also to get the warping out, because we had some problems. We had some bad batches of foam warped really bad.
Yeah.
Here's the deal.
Yeah.
I don't want the paper on the thin foam. I want the thin foam paperless so that I can skin airplanes with it.
Yes.
That's a brilliant
So
idea.
that would take the whole warping out of the whole picture.
Yeah, because you're gonna be warping it anyway. You're gonna be bending it around and skinning it anyway, right?
Possibly.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'll ask them about that. I'll ask them if they can straighten it. The way they works out is the thing is curled until they put the paper on it, and then it goes through a roller and flattens it and puts the paper on at the same time. But I can ask them to get us some samples. Would you like that?
Yes.
That'd be awesome.
All right. Well, now I know who to send it to. So okay.
I still have all the contact information too from Dan.
Yeah. Perfect.
Perfect.
Yes.
Awesome.
Wow,
I'm sorry.
that's awesome, man.
Okay, now we're going to finish talking to your wife now. Sorry.
Sorry.
Like all 3 hovering around now. So
Yeah. Oh, my.
oh my, right.
That was quite the shot up the nostrils.
Yeah, you know what? Your kids are great. We had such a fun time with them and the other young people there. That one Saturday night,
Yes.
we were all out there late being idiots and having a good time, and they're really nice guys.
And I thank you guys for putting up with them, because they're like, we want to stay, and I'm like, I don't. Go home and get a shower and sleep. So yeah.
Thanks again for catching my tent.
Absolutely. Well, this year, if they want to stay, they can stay.
Absolutely.
We'll have room for them, I'm sure, somewhere.
We'll make sure they wait down the tent, though.
Yes.
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 I got bigger stakes.
He's got bigger stakes.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so have you got anything planned up that you can let us know about for 17 East?
17 East. Do we have any surprise? I'm trying to think.
There may be announcement of new headquarters.
That is true. Josh is hoping to announce the new headquarters there if everything works out.
Not at Malvern.
Right, not to be at Malvern, but where the new location will be.
Yeah.
Fairly close to Malvern.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're working on getting a destination location, just like we've been talking about for the past.
It's
couple
been
years.
his dream for years.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
So after seeing that we can go East Coast, West Coast, and the great people are still the same, we're full blown. But Thursday, I got some meetings that will hopefully decide the direction that we're going, and we'll obviously link it to our core group first. But I'm hoping to have a really cool reveal.
He may talk about it in his sleep too. So.
Ah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if we want the inside track, what we'll do is we'll find him passed out somewhere in back of the store.
And then
Yeah.
start talking
Like
to him.
friends.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you guys know that we're working on trying to get the Paradigm paramotor team up there to do a full blown?
Yes. Yeah, I heard something about that. I don't remember from where, but
Yeah.
We're not going to do the hot air balloons. Just too temperamental with the weather, but the Paradigm team, we're going to try to get them down to do a full blown demonstration, aerobatic demonstration, maybe even
Cool.
and the light system that the flight test is designing for.
Mhm.
yeah. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to talk to Chad. How did the smoke thing turn out? Are they happy with it?
The one that I made worked really good. We sent 7 more down, but there was a weird issue with the pumps where it's intermittently cutting off. So we're fighting with the final production model. But the smoke that machine put out was greater than anything else on the market.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Pretty ridiculous. And you know Robert Dumia, right?
All right.
IT guy. Robert is amazing.
Oh yeah.
A Romanian.
Yes.
Yeah.
He is leading the way on a light system that one system controls all the lights, and it can even geo control where when it's on the northern sky, it's one color, and as it passes through, it can like pass through like a rainbow. And
Really?
we're working on some really crazy stuff for them to be able to up the ante with their shows, but also it'll be a way to hopefully build funds for Flight Test.
Absolutely. We need more money flowing in so you guys can keep making more good stuff.
You're fine. I don't mind. Please. I don't mind, Josh. Really. It's fine. Oh my goodness.
Well, you know, Josh, he's got to be the center of attention, doesn't he?
That's my son just showed me that on his cell phone. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
So how far do you guys live from Flight Test HQ? Are you
We're
20 minutes, half hour?
45 minutes.
45 minutes.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It is. It is. That's why selfishly I can't wait for them to move and bring it a little closer.
I don't blame you at all. I don't blame you at all.
Sometimes it can take longer. If he's leaving after he should at work and rush hours hit and everything, it could be an hour till we see him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So,
Yep.
so you're further out than Alliance is. Then.
We are. We're in Homeworth. Yep. We're just.
Okay.
Yep. Yep.
Did you tell them that you're going to be building a wing from Heather and Shane?
Oh, apparently, Team Legit is that?
Team Legit.
Team Legit sent me a race wing because apparently
cool.
I think I can fly.
Shane and Heather?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, we're gonna. Josh and I are gonna do a video, and I'm gonna try to build it. So we'll see how that goes.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, basically the flying that I have done, you all have seen on camera, and that is the extent of my flying abilities.
And one other time.
Well, one other time?
Yeah, with the storage.
Oh, way in the beginning, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, when we were down visiting in Texas for Josh's mom, we ran into Shane and Heather, and we did a couple episodes with them.
Yep.
And yeah, that's when they pretty much, Shane's like, oh, you can do this. It's no big deal. I've never flown FPV before. I've never flown anything faster than like the Sportsman or the Tiny Trainer. And so he puts these goggles on me, and it's, 104 outside? It's hot as all get out. He's leaning over trying to show me what to do. I have no clue what's happening, but it's going so fast through the goggles, and then he lets go and is like, you've got it, you've got it. And then all of a sudden, bam, right into the ground. And I'm like, I don't got it. I don't got it. So I'm not so good at FPV speed, I guess. I need some work.
That's great. Do you guys have any idea if they're coming up for Flight Fest?
Do you know if they're coming up? I know they spent a day with us out west.
Mm.
Yeah.
I'll have that.
We'll have to ask them. Yeah,
Okay.
they had planned on it, and then they weren't sure they were going to make it, so they at least wanted to touch base while we were down there, or out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had them as a guest on the podcast. They were really nice
Okay.
people. So.
I guess their little girl, who's 4, is an amazing tiny whoop pilot.
Yep.
So, yeah, they've got her all hooked up, and Mike's probably jealous. He's looking at me over there like, come on. Yep.
Yeah, you'll
That's
have to
awesome.
take her on.
Yeah, exactly.
Challenge her.
Yep. Yeah, we made some deals with the tiny whoop guys while they were down there, and Mike's going to get us set up, so he's super excited.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, nice.
Like, what kind of deals did you have to cut? And I said, I just had to pledge my allegiance to Tiny Whoop instead of Flight Test, and they said they'd send you. I was kidding, of
If I
course.
wouldn't make it 2 days without her, I would fire on the spot.
Yeah. It doesn't work. No. I'm hoping to eventually, if we get a hobby shop, to move into the hobby shop and kind of have a lot to do with the hobby store. I think that would be where I would love to be eventually. So,
Oh, that would be cool.
yeah.
I think your personality, people would enjoy going there and talking to you, and as a destination station. Absolutely, you would be great.
Yep.
Well, hopefully buy a lot of stuff too.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Because if all they do is come and talk, it's kind of useless.
Yeah, that is true.
About that.
Now
Yeah, I'm back. No. Even if people come in to talk, if they bring really cool things to fly, we get free content, and that gives the ability. Just like with Ben, in his A4. If someone comes up with a field design, that's an episode. We don't have to, try to just do an article. We can film it flying. We can really do it right. So one of our biggest goals with destination locations is to give the community a place to fly. but also give us a way to capture lots of content featuring the community. Because that's our favorite. That's the ones we want to watch the most. Is when it's the Lego planes and when it's the
that was so cool.
So, just so you guys know, this next week's going to be kind of crazy because we move things around because we want to get the Lego plane out really quick. So I think Monday's going to be a vlog instead of Tuesday. Our full scale episode's going to release midweek instead of on the weekend. We just shifted things around a little bit.
You're just a mess.
To get Flite Fest stuff in there.
You're just a mess.
Yeah. Jen's going to have to straighten you guys out.
Damn.
Yeah.
We're all
I have to check out that guy's YouTube channel, the guy that made the Lego plane, because I'm looking at the end when you guys had that little clip in there of some of his stuff from his channel, and he's got like the SpaceX rocket landing on a platform.
Yes, I saw that previously. That thing's amazing.
I got to check this guy out.
He's one of the most humble guys, but he just posts on his channel to share it. He doesn't post it to really get traction, and we want to see his channel explode because he's gifted. He does so many cool things. If you've seen something really, really, really cool on the internet with a beautifully built, machine, there's a good chance it's him. The SpaceX rocket, the Star Wars X-wings, and all that he's done, they all look incredibly good.
Yeah,
Nice guy.
That's awesome. And that Lego plane is just ridiculous.
It was ridiculous, but it was ridiculously awesome because everything that they said about, having that little bitty plane when you were a kid or when you were younger and wanting it to fly so bad.
And you threw it. I threw it. You have to because it looks like fly, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just explode into every piece that it was made with.
You'd have to rub your nose up on it, just get really close in order to be able to appreciate the detail he put into it too. I mean, the radius on the wings, the texture, everything looked like a big Lego. It was a spitting image, and
it even had Lego written on the little.
Everyone
he had a stamp that he made.
That's good. It was
crazy.
Pretty inspirational. I quickly see Flite Tests or Flite Fest come in, not only like a family reunion mentality, but also people are bringing just the coolest things now. They know that this is where we can kind of get episodes around them and stuff.
Yeah.
And I love that. But I would love for that to be like an everyday thing. I'd love for them to come on their schedule out to one of our locations and us be able to do it. So hopefully that continues to grow in the East where people bring the craziest, weirdest projects. And then, we get to shoot content on it. That'll future-proof Flite Test too. I mean, to be vulnerable, everyone has just a certain amount of God-given talent. And no matter where that lies, you eventually are not able to come up with new stuff. And you're going to future-proof that. You can go 30 years now on that, and it's not going to be anything old, anything dry. And we become the presenters.
And eventually you guys are going to run out of ideas. I mean, it's got to happen sometime.
You guys ever watch Dirty Jobs and Mike Rowe is at the end, please?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Listen, tell us where to go. I always used to think, man, I don't know how they ever run out of ideas. And frankly, we don't, but it's going to come. It's going to be like, well, geez, Ben makes this beautiful A4 jet. He put the 100 hours plus in design in it. Let's feature that. Let's showcase him. Right. Rather than us trying to come up with the newest thing, we can showcase the community. And great people like Nerd Nick, Ben, Dan, you guys. That's the cool thing about Flite Test. Everyone gives their knowledge, so other people can grow. And I think that's where it needs to really transition into.
Well, it's the number of really cool builds on the forum is really growing.
Yeah,
I've noticed that recently. Some really cool stuff on there, and that's great to see.
Yeah. Hey, you were asking about Flite Fest East 2 new stuff. We're going to try to get the winner of the Flute Talk design from the 4 STEM schools or 5 STEM schools. That we're going to try to get in the build tent. Basically, a bunch of formers and stuff. So the idea is to pick the winner, lay out the design in big scale, and then have the STEM program design it, and then the Flite Test community help build it. Yeah. So that way when it goes off the dock, there's hundreds of signatures of people that built the ribs and the formers, and it's kind of like a assembly. You know what I mean? So they get to see it kind of come together, and it's part of the story.
Very cool.
Awesome. We got a couple of questions. Where's the first one at? What's the biggest challenges with the field at West for Flite Fest?
Oh my
What
God.
was the biggest challenge you had? I mean, truly the biggest challenge you had.
The highway.
The highway.
Like, were you sweating? I mean,
heard about this in the store.
Oh my gosh! Do you guys want a spoiler alert?
Sure.
Do you want
yeah.
a tidbit? The very last flight of the whole entire event, the same wonderful kids that made the Monster B-17 that flew it at Malvern,
Uh-huh.
they came with huge projects locked and loaded, ready to go. And their last thing to fly was literally the last flight. It was a monstrous, I think, like a 12-foot Lancaster.
Oh, I've seen that one.
And it looked incredible. And I think Austin has like some teasers of it launching, and there's definitely images of it floating around on Instagram. But there was no rudder on it, just ailerons, and there was no differential thrust. So, but no rudder, no differential thrust. What are we lacking? We're lacking yaw, you know.
Yes.
And those planes needed rudder, and they launched it, and it took off as gorgeous as could be and headed straight towards the highway.
Yes.
And
Which we thought was far enough away, but was not.
They were not only over the highway, they were over both lanes of the highway.
Oh.
And I got to imagine some poor soul with a Honda Civic looking up, seeing a monster, you know.
Well, not just that. Also, during some of the combats and stuff, planes would just be flying into the spectators like crazy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
They couldn't keep them out over the field.
we ended up, the two biggest things was the highway. We're not going to be doing that venue again next year just because too many planes were too close to the highway.
Okay.
And it wasn't on purpose. People, there would be something would happen, something would lock out. And we were very fortunate. That Lancaster, after about maybe a half-mile round journey, finally came back to the field.
Well, they did have a crash on the highway at night flying.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
So we were fortunate. No accidents, no issues.
Yeah.
But next year, we're definitely going to look at a different, more wide open space. The combat had to be canceled midday Saturday. We stopped it after 2 rounds of combat because too many people were chasing each other towards the crowd and too many close calls.
Yeah.
No one got hit like, unfortunately, at Flight Fest East last year. The one gentleman got hit or 2 people got hit. But this coming year at Flight Fest East, we are going to definitely put like a stick with a GoPro facing straight up, way out there. And the idea is going to be to get the best footage. So hopefully people will stay around that stick trying to be in the camera, and it'll keep them away from the crowd.
Push them out. Yeah,
Right.
that it was a problem at Flite Fest East last year during the Saturday combat. I was sitting on those bleachers that you guys had set up, and planes were falling into the.
down.
I just got up and walked away because I'm like, this is uncomfortable.
That's when you bring a helmet and just put your helmet on.
Right.
I know a lot of you guys were there to volunteer last year, so you guys knew that we moved the tent, the stake out so people could have spectating spots, because originally it was going to be the tent was hard against the line. This year, that runway is going to be 2, if not 3x further away, and there's going to be that much more distance between spectators and pilots.
Good.
Those are for your reason.
I think it gave Austin a little bit of a heart attack the one day because he came in and he's like, "Combat's over. Combat's over."
We killed it until things calmed down, but everyone was so great there and understanding. But a lot of people, flight testing and that combat are kind of like a very nostalgic thing. The only thing I think I may do, and it's not that expensive, is test hard hats. Literally, people are spectating and they're flying. Put a hard hat on.
Just do it. That's not going to scare anybody.
For your protection. Well, my hope is it's psychological. If you're giving people hard hats, you're telling them there's a good chance it'll.
I bought umbrellas for last year and it didn't rain, so that worked.
There you go.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, there you go. And then the other question that Kevin Davis has is, do you guys ever see yourselves letting gas or glow engines getting there at Flight Fest, or even, doing more stuff with gas and glow on the Flight Test channel?
I think gas and glow definitely, especially at this destination location, it's going to have upwards of 3 to 4 runways plus a world-class quad course if we get the location we're looking at. So we'll actually probably have just full gas events. That way it's separated. The hardest thing is Flight Fest is really meant for the whole family to come out and learn, build, fly. Introducing a gas element there, the only way I could see that happening is if we can get the field across the street. There's a 40-acre field there.
Yep.
Grow there where that could be the gas planes and the helicopters. I think that would be fantastic, because then that would almost be a kind of like a Joe Knoll mentality. You know how they separate those two?
Yep.
And Mr. Fox is the gentleman that owns it. We've been talking to him, and hopefully we'll have something we can work out in the future when Flight Fest does grow over. But cool. I don't think we'll introduce gas until we outgrow Fury Field and need Mr. Fox's field. I think that's when we
could be this.
If not, we hold separate gasser events because
Sure.
Literally every aspect of Flite's going to be portrayed. It's just we're still in our infant stages. If you think only 7 years, I'm thinking with the next year or so, gas and balsa wood building will be a big part of it.
Yeah.
Of this DNA.
Well, and I can see Flite Fest always being electric.
Yeah.
You know, for a lot of reasons, but we also want to make sure that it stays the biggest in the United States and maybe the world. I don't know.
Yeah.
Electric festival.
You guys are definitely making it that way, and
we're trying awful hard.
Everything with Flite Fest has to be the experience, and I know, unfortunately, taking gas takes away some of the experience.
Yep.
Let's keep it inclusive for families, for young kids to fly, for people to be able to run out in the field real quick. You know, it keeps that environment as safe as possible for those people.
Yes.
And that is the majority of who's going to be at Flite Fest.
Agreed. We lost Pat. I think maybe his wife had something for him to do real quick. And I'm sure, as Josh is well aware, if Mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy.
I don't know.
I don't know who's listening to this right now, but I got to tell you guys, I had the most patient wife I could ever ask for, and I don't ever deserve, because the things she puts up with me. I told her, Jen, I'm going to have to fly out, on Wednesday.
Yeah,
and
he leaves this Wednesday.
She's
again.
gracious, and then it's like, okay, we got to go here on this day. She gives me so much grace that I don't deserve, through this process, because there's nothing that's planned with Flite Test. Everything is.
I'm just like, make it up Mother's Day. When you get home, I expect.
Absolutely, yeah.
There seriously needs to be a wives club for Flite Test.
Well, we were talking about that.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, a support club for the
support group. Yeah, absolutely.
It should be. It's been 10 years and I still haven't killed my husband. It's been 11 years and I still haven't killed my husband.
Right.
Well, that's what he says, because I love crime shows. I absolutely love crime shows. And every time we're watching them, he's like, you could kill me and nobody would know that you did this. And I'm like, if I wanted to kill you, you'd be dead long ago.
She's not telling. The worst part is that she says, I could do that so much better than they did it.
Well, the shows, sometimes it's just stupid mistakes the criminals make, and he's like, what in the world?
Dumb mistakes will do it every time.
You gotta think before you kill somebody, that's all.
Yeah. Well, I have to give it to mine as well, because, I travel a lot for my work as it is. And of course, the end of May, Pat and I are going to come out and hang out with Chris, Mike, and everybody, and, stop by and see you guys and all that. And she gave me the blessing, go, have a good time. Just leave me here.
Awesome.
I mean, she loves that I have a good time with it, but it's just not her thing. She tried and just couldn't get into it.
It's definitely not for everybody. I mean, if I didn't have my roles in it, I probably wouldn't be quite as into it as I am.
Well, and that's understandable,
Yeah. There are days where I don't think I ever want to see another airplane as long as I live, but then I wake up the next day and there they are. So, yeah.
I think you guys are great ambassadors to what Flite Test is, though, because going to Flite Fest West, the neat thing, people only got to see the videos, they got to hear about it. When they came locked and loaded to do everything that Flite Fest East was, just from what they heard about. So we saw whole families rolling out. We saw dads and their daughters and their sons, and that was really moving, because that was something we talked about, but it took a few years to really get going with Flite Fest East. And for Flite Fest West,
it was in full force.
It was in full force, and the moms are there, and they heard what people have said about it. So
we had a lot of moms come up and actually thank us, which usually it's the dads, but it was the moms thanking us and wanting to know more about the STEM programs. And Jake really hit it out of the park. He did an awesome job too. So STEM's really getting traction now, which is just such a great feeling. He's running these programs, and it's finally getting the attention of people saying, wow, we can take Flite into schools, and we can use this as a way to, inspire and educate kids. And in California, you could see it was really clicking, with a lot of people. So what a great feeling if you think about that. That's like the ultimate gateway for kids. They can be at school and they can be getting a fascination and a love for flight and a love for learning, and then they take it home to their family, and their family said, "Let's get into this as a hobby." Yeah. I mean, that's the perfect aerial gateway drug, I guess you can say. That can turn the whole family. But even the moms are coming back at the end and saying, "I'm going to pick a project out for myself now. My dad and my husband and kids built one. I want to build one." Sure. And
mean, what a great feeling that was to see the whole family doing it.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you that Jake, Marshall, and Mitchell Gray are just doing a fantastic job with everything on the STEM side. So that's awesome. Matter of fact, I haven't yet, but I know I'm going to be donating just to it. You know, just donating some money because I know these schools and the kids need it. I know when I was in school, there was no way I would have ever gotten into anything like this. And to give somebody else the opportunity to be able to do that to me is just,
that's super awesome. Well,
that's,
the future hope is a lot of these teachers don't know how to fly. Our hope is that we can actually connect schools with Flight Test community members to be those people that come in and help the kids learn to fly and learn to get the planes in the air. And that's what Jake has set up a great example for is there's volunteers, and those volunteers can be right from our community group. And that way it's a perfect liaison to help them connect also with the parents. And so my hope is that people like you and people like, this great group here have a school that's down the road. And when it comes up, well, I don't know how to fly. It's like, hey, that's no problem. 20 minutes from you, there's 5 guys ready to teach you,
Exactly.
It takes those hurdles out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Hopefully at Flight Fest, we do have a bunch of teachers and whatever come. Because I guarantee you there's not a soul at Flight Fest that wouldn't be willing to help them learn and teach whatever could be done,
You could even give out free bracelets to all the area schools for teachers.
That's a really great idea.
Before it ends.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. That way they can get in for free. Maybe give them each 2. That way they can bring a kid or a spouse.
Teachers love free stuff.
They do.
Oh, absolutely. Well, you should almost do that with maybe the church groups as well.
Yeah.
The church group schools, whatever. Oh man, that's a good idea.
Hey, Patrick.
Yeah, he's back.
Hey, sorry about that.
Yep.
My wife just got home and her aunt's not doing so well.
Oh no.
Yeah. So.
Well, prayers, buddy.
Thanks. She's been in like hospice care for a while. So. Yeah. So anyway, not to bring everybody down.
So Thomas Farrell just said he talked with a volunteer at the Pacific Aviation Museum at Pearl Harbor in Hawaii 2 weeks ago about the FT STEM, and he said he was going to check into it. So that's pretty cool.
That's wonderful.
I think we should go visit him.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. There's a perfect Mother's Day gift, Jen.
I agree.
Yeah.
I've been teasing Josh a lot about taking Flight Fest Hawaii,
Oh.
And, he hasn't said yes yet. I don't know why.
There's another. I don't know if she shared this with you while I was gone. Maybe she did, but we haven't taken like a family vacation. Like that hasn't involved work in a long time.
Years.
So she was looking today, trying to figure out which beach we go to and stuff to take a family time. And I'm not much of a help that way. So she's like, we just need to have an event in someplace beautiful, and that way it can become a vacation.
Yeah.
So
it worked out though with California. We got to see the Golden Gate Bridge, which was just beautiful views up there.
And by the way, Noah took a fantastic photo with he had his camera sitting there, and the reflection of the Golden Gate Bridge in the lens was awesome. Go pat that boy on the back. That was fantastic.
I've been watching YouTube videos from a guy, Fronos or something. The guy has a big afro, and he teaches you how to do photography, and he loves the guy.
Oh, that's awesome.
Really
very cool.
A lot of awesome tips. Yeah. So,
yeah, very cool. What do you I'm not trying to jump around and stuff, but you held up your gremlin earlier. One thing we were doing with the gremlins and the tiny whoops was racing them through the tents and stuff. What do you think, like with the gremlin? Do you think it'd be cool to make like a tent course for tiny whoops and gremlins, like inside one of those 100-foot long tents? Or
oh yeah, 100-foot tent would that would be awesome.
Then you wouldn't have to worry about the flight line.
I mean, I think it'd be pretty cool if you lit it up, like get some smoke machines, maybe a couple lasers in there, and and just
that would be crazy.
Yeah, because
and just quickly, I do want to say that Fred says hi, Jen.
Hello, Fred.
I told you we didn't even have to say his name 3 times, and he showed up.
Yeah.
Well, I think oftentimes one tent slows down quite a bit. In the evenings, it'd be really cool to kind of designate that one after like 9 o'clock when it starts. Close it, light it up, put some fog in there, and then whoop it up and gremlin it up a little bit.
Oh, that would be awesome.
So it was a real thrill getting to fly around with the in that big convention center, which is huge.
Yes.
But I think we could definitely repeat.
We had tiny whoops flying during the day, and I know it was a tiny whoop. group of guys, and they would be flying through the store. And at one point, I took out a plane, and I was going to smack it out of the store. Most people thought it was hilarious and loved it, but some people would turn around like, what is that? What is that? Yeah, they were crazy. You got kissed by one.
Yeah, face punched.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Well, I don't think you'd want to get face punched at one of these gremlins, though.
No.
Man, they got some power to them.
It's like the ultimate little pocket rocket. You know what I mean? It's so cool, but you can take it out even in the windiest weather. You can still fly them and do your thing with them. So I'm really grateful that size just has opened up the door again to just different materials. You know, it used to be that okay, if it wasn't carbon fiber, no one used it. I mean, you've seen yourself how well that Delrin can take a hit, but truthfully, just wood on a scroll saw can do the same thing. And, and that's such a cool thing. It opens everything back up to making people have fun again. But racing, I mean, people can still race them. It's just for me, I like the UFOs and the weird stuff. We're working on a couple really just novelty things that are only meant to fly and look cool, but I'm really excited about those getting released too, because now we can marry small foam board, you know, bodies and stuff into these frames and make things look really cool, like little mini DeLoreans and stuff.
Nice.
Yep. Sweet. Well, I know we've had you guys on here for quite some time, and I'm sure Jen is probably already tired of us. But what's that?
Oh, honestly, guys, it just means the world that you have taken the initiative to reach out to the community in this way and to do the community cast. And also include so many great people too. We love listening to it, and thanks for including my wonderful wife.
Oh, absolutely. We've been wanting to have her on here for I don't know how long, and it's just been a matter of schedules. And I mean, she's so busy all the time. And then between Joel and I and Pat, just trying to get everything together. You know, the whole month of April, we didn't even do a podcast. I mean, not one, because well, for a couple of reasons, but I mean, we didn't have anybody that we thought would bring much to the community, you know? So it was like, we just kind of said, you know what, we're not going to do anything until we know we have some good content for people, because we don't want to put out, you know, crappy content.
That's good discipline, but you guys are gifted with giving great content. And I love what you're doing, and thank you for being part of this.
Well, absolutely. And we just, you know, we appreciate the fact that you guys let us, of course, use your logo and use the name in our podcast name, because I mean, you guys could have said no and all that. I mean, I didn't think you would, but at the same time, we're very thankful that you do.
You guys personify what I want Flite Test to be. And we said it earlier, Flite Test turned from a community to a family, and now it's on its way to a movement. And you guys, show exactly what that movement should look like and give people a pattern that they can follow and that they can repeat. And I think that's a really special thing.
Yeah, and that's the thing is we didn't do this just to try to capture the market on the community. If there's more people out there that want to do exactly what we're doing, go for it, man. We want all the competition we can get. We think it's fun.
Well, I think 10 years from now, when we look back and we see what aviation has opened up, but also the great people that are part of the Flite Test community have done to show people how they could take their passions, take their hobbies, and use it as a tool to connect with other people. Mm-hmm. I think everyone's going to be very proud of that. And I think also the way people get in the hobby has already been redefined. I think we're going to see that on a much larger scale in the very near future, where this is actually a franchisable business model where when people go to a hobby store, they're not going to a hobby store buying something and leaving. They're going to the hobby store to hang out with their friends, to build, to fly, and I want to see Flite Test lead the charge on that. Destination locations.
Well, and that's something that maybe we can talk about when that time comes up, because I would like to be part of that.
Absolutely.
Right here in the Midwest. So
I think it's going to be so special, my friend. I agree with you. I'd love that.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Ben Harbor has a question for you, Josh. How's that A4 build coming?
Tell Ben I have not even gotten to start on it yet, so I'm still digging out of emails. I also have to go to China in about a week and a half too, so I'll be working on that on the plane, but it's going to be there. right now, so you guys know, I owe a version 2 of the Mustang. I'm finishing off the turtle deck for making it either a D model or a B model Razorback, and then Shinden's lined up after that. And hopefully going to China, we'll be matching a power pack that we can get a really good EDF motor for the Shinden and Ben Harbor's plane and get an EDF line going.
Okay.
And so figure since there's a couple things in before that, I can take my time.
Cool. Well,
Nice.
like I said, we'll let you guys go so you can rest a little more. We really appreciate it. Jen, thank you so much for coming on.
Yep. Thank you.
It really made, it made what we do look easy.
Well, guys, thanks for being part of this, and thanks for having my wife on.
Yes.
Absolutely. And tell them boys, we'll have to get them on too. We'll talk to you guys about that and have them on to talk about their stuff, because we'd like to talk to them about their stuff and what they got going on in their life.
You guys are awesome. All right. Thank you.
All right. Take care. Jen, again, thanks.
You are very welcome. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah,
Real quick,
absolutely. Oh,
I have a Jenny.
Oh, look.
Nice.
Oh, look at that.
I've only been asking him for one for years,
Well, and Pat is the one that's making it happen.
Well, thank you very much.
Absolutely. And to all of our listeners, thanks for listening, guys. Thanks for joining us. 22, 23 people watching live. And God only knows how many downloads we'll have once everybody sees it. That, oh my gosh, it's Jen Bixler.
That's right.
She's going to be on the podcast. So
Special guest for Josh, and then we might really.
Well, we don't need Josh to get everybody to come in because it's Jen. Come on.
That's right.
So anyway, guys, thanks a lot, and we will talk to you later. We're signing off. Blue skies, everybody.
Bye, everybody.